So the FDA announced yesterday that they were going to ban all petroleum-based food dyes from our food supply, right, here in the United States. And this is really, really good news. I don't want to be like a party pooper on this, but I do have a few things to say about this. It's a little suspicious to me because this looks like it's one of like the classic Trump strategies, which is when you're having a really bad week in PR, you make another big announcement to like deflect and distract everyone from the other stuff that's going on. Okay. So the FDA has gotten really bad PR in the past week. RFK Jr., has been going out and giving a lot of interviews about autism and literally spreading misinformation and saying a lot of really untrue things. They've also unveiled that they're going to be planning a national autism registry, which is a little scary. It's weird that the Trump administration keeps picking things from that 1930s Germany situation. They keep doing things that are kind of similar to that. Like, it's a little weird, right? Which is, they had an autism registry back then as well. The FDA has also been getting a lot of bad press because they have eliminated so many staff at the FDA that they are no longer doing quality tests on milk. I just learned about the swill milk scandal as a result of that. It's horrifying, okay? But the fact that we are one of the richest nations in the world and we've now cut so many people at the FDA that they can't even test to ensure that our milk is safe is pretty gnarly. Okay, so that's been going on. And so to me, it's a little suspicious that all of a sudden they're going to make this big announcement to phase out synthetic food dyes after they've been getting all of this really bad PR. It's a classic Trump strategy. Now, I am so happy. Everybody wants synthetic food dyes eliminated from our food. Everybody. The FDA under Biden was already working on this. They do years of research, right, leading up to any phase out or ban. Mind you, it takes way longer than it should. However, they do this because as soon as they ban something, they are going to get smacked with lots of lawsuits from the ultra processed food companies. So Jim Jones, who was the one overseeing all of this under Biden, he had already banned red dye number 3, and he was planning on banning all the other ones. So I'm really, really hoping that they have tons of research to back up this ban. Okay? Because you know what's going to happen. As soon as this ban goes into place, they will potentially get slapped with lots of lawsuits by Coca-Cola and Nestle, right? Mars Incorporated. The FDA just fired like all of its researchers and scientists. So hopefully they did all of that research before they fired all those folks, because otherwise this ban is just going to get repealed. There's a reason that we have tons of scientists at the FDA. That has to do with wanting to keep this law in place and having it not get repealed by big business, because that has happened before, right? This happened when the EPA tried to ban asbestos. This actually happened when they tried to ban BPA, right? This has happened a number of times before. We know that the huge companies that are profiting off of their super cheap petroleum-based synthetic food dyes, they're going to be coming after the FDA and challenging this in court. One last thing I want to mention here is that in order to have regulations in place, right, like banning synthetic food dyes, you need regulators to enforce those rules. So the FDA has fired over 20,000 people. They are bare bones. I don't know how many people still work there. I don't think anyone has a clear answer on that. I know it is a fraction of the people that worked there before. And I want to remind you that the FDA oversees like half of the consumer products here in this country. I'm not sure what the plan is, but in order to regulate something and to keep a ban in place, you need to have people working to ensure that the rules are being followed. You can't do that if no one works at the FDA.